Yo, this video is sneaky communication versus my mental health. First thing I want to do is turn on my Flamingo here. This is, I suppose, the on air or on recording or like live recording sign. But okay, what I wanted to look at was this video that I saw on Twitter or X, and I just liked it so that I could you know, keep up with it. Um, and this is what this video is. So let's click it and like listen. And so to just give some context, in previous videos that I've recorded, that can be found on this channel, right? The one that I clearly am doing lightning things. It looks like I have lightning superpowers. And you can also see this idea on YoTV. Let's go to playlist. So this is my versus my mental health playlist. And, there are certain videos here that within this, like the Stephanie Jewston, when I was specifically talking about Stephanie Jewston, as well as other, women doing this, but that Stephanie Jewston's like basically they made a game out of this. Like people are literally using games that I've been playing in like media and stuff that I've been watching since I was a kid to like they put this woman in this game or like I don't know, she snuck her way into this game and is communicating at me in a way that I've been suggesting is like plausibly deniable, and people have been pretending like when I brought this up previously, people pretended like they could not keep with this concept. They couldn't understand what I was saying and that I was crazy and that like they didn't understand the form of communication that I was saying. And then I even showed that I think that like Girls Gone Bible had hinted at this form of communication, like in this video, where I'm pointing out like here, Stephanie Jewston is literally plays a character named Quiet, or Stephanie Yostin literally plays a character named Quiet, who, um, communicates non-verbally, right? And that's whoever's using her to like harass me and hurt me and like fuck with my mental health and stuff. The whole point is that like modern day authorities and stuff, or at least 7 years ago or whatever, when this was really like picking up. I think now it's a lot more provable, but um, you know, a few years ago when I tried to describe like, yeah, she's a character and in the video game she communicates non-verbally, and it seems like someone's using her to try to communicate at me non-verbally with like literally the writing on the wall behind her, like where it says like silence, spiritual connection, and stuff like that. And you have this woman shushing, and like part of my whole point is this is like some group of, it feels like a coven of women being used by some men, and like some evil abusive men, and the women are willing to be evil and abusive because insert reason, and because they're evil and abusive. And this includes celebrities and stuff too that seem to be aimed at me. And again, if you're like, well, why? I'm the only channel that I can see that it looks like I can manipulate weather to any degree, let alone consistently while I'm recording it. So I think that's a good reason why, and I think it's hard to bullshit that I haven't done it enough times to where it's at least a pattern that nobody else on the planet can show or has shown. They probably maybe you could, but nobody has that I've seen. So other than me. Anyway, so you have Stephanie Jewston doing it, and then my point with this was that it looked like the Girls Gone Bible girls are doing it, and I think they're just lying about being Christians and about being whatever, along with a bunch of these other, a number of other women, that are harassing me. Not that are, well, they're lying about stuff too, but specifically that these women are like trying to harass me, and like a whole bunch of people are trying to harass me and then like try to fuck with my mental health and get me to lash out at people and then get me in trouble. And they did that and lied to the police at least once, right? About what the situation was. I did lash out at people. The situation seems to be I was bred without my consent and they're holding my children hostage. So, like, kind of fuck everybody involved. The authorities who, like, listen to these people instead of helping me when I was telling the truth then, and it wasn't that hard to follow along with what I was saying. And, like, there was this pretense that, like, I was just making the whole thing up, right? Except if you go to my Matthew is Yaw Twitter, right? Well, actually, it's hold on. I'm at really. Any other time I use this, I can just pull up my other account if you give me a moment. I'm just gonna pull it up on my other computer and then like drag the thing to this, but it's kind of annoying that I had to do this. Um, People were pretending essentially that they couldn't follow along with what I was saying about uh, Stephanie Jewson. Why is X going so slow? Since Elon bought it, X has been a kind of a shit show, or Twitter has been kind of a shit show. It'd be reasonable to, like, I don't know, not keep that going because it's nice to have like a very open communications thing. That was the whole point of it. But anyway, okay. So while I'm letting that load, basically, I have this whole playlist where I think a number of women that are like, again, they're celebrities. So, like, if you ask why you, and then I'm like, well, I can point out that it looks like I'm the only person on the planet that has any weather manipulation abilities, along with other things. But the weather manipulation thing is like, it is a pattern that no one could show something anything like it that I've seen thus far. And if you can, show me. Like, that's kind of the idea. At that point, I think it's the bad guy from like, I think whoever could show is the guy from the false prophet from Revelation, right? But okay, there's one. So a few years ago, come on, man. Like, Elon, get this shit working actually well, please. Like, this was not doing this, I don't know, a few months ago. It's like recently, within the past couple months, it has just been nonstop. There's constant issues with X as a platform. Um, and my whole thing is I'm pretty sure Elon bought it to, like, I don't actually think he stands for free speech or anything like that. If anything, I think he's another one of these people that are just like, participating in whatever this thing is where people are being silent about some super fucking evil situation that people have done to me and, like, are trying their damnedest to, like, contain, and it's not working, and people are dying and people are getting hurt, and it's costing billions of dollars and just making life uncomfortable for everybody. And the other option is we go to a kingdom of heaven where people don't die anymore. So I don't understand why people don't do this shit. Like, why people don't listen to me. But uh, you know, attention, the one who calls himself Yo, beware, cease your current intensification. We will continue to intensify. The word must cease. Sexuality increase, and then random Proverbs quote. Uh, Part of my point with this has been people could understand what I was talking about when I was talking about it, and, like, this kind of makes that make sense too. Like, yeah, at least someone does because I didn't make this tweet. Um, but they get certain concepts that the police and mental health people and, like, I don't know, my friends friends and family, like they just pretended like they were stupid and that they couldn't understand what I was saying, that there's a group of people harassing me. Essentially what is called gang stalking, right? Um, Gang stalking doing a bad job of it. Looks like people in their gang just dying like that all the time. But in any instance, because of this, because the weight of them acting like fuck offs is like killing them. But anyway, so and it should good. You guys are terrible fucking people for doing this. My point with this video is that there's a type of communication that's going on that like is sneaky, right? And it's plausibly deniable. Like Stephanie Houston participating in this art project where it's called Matt, right? It's my name, except with two A's instead of two T's. And you know the two A's thing I think is pointing at Alessandra or Andra Ambrosio. Both their initials are AA, and Alessandra and Andra Ambrosio are specifically participating. I'm pretty sure Andra Ambrosio is my daughter. I'm pretty sure, like, I like where I was bred when I was 16, and like something from Lutheran High North. I like everybody in my class or something was participating. Whatever it is, I think a whole bunch of people are about to be in so much fucking trouble, and the weight of this is just gonna be killing people like that. Like the weight of the evil that they've done being brought out in public and publicly failing as badly as it is and has been and will be is like, you know, we're done. But, you know, to the idea that, well, if someone understood what I was saying and then made a fake Stephanie Yosten account, right, and then like tweeted at me something that seems to be like that they understand what I'm saying. So like I'm getting with this video that this girl describes a form of communication that appears to be going on, right? I don't know who this person is. I got a familiar looking nose, but anyway, I I don't know who this person is, right? But just listen to what she describes. And I'm also going to say this. When it comes to like getting pussy, you know, having sex and stuff, then people are like, when it increases their chances, like, oh, I'm going to be able to, like, I'm going to, like, this is a concept that can be used to have sex or something. Like, you know, I'm getting at, like, she understood this or figured this out because it's like, at the end of it, she was going to get some pussy, is what, like, the idea. And so my point is, well, it's understandable when those are the stakes, but it's not understandable when, hey, Matt has been abused in a way that's really fucking evil to the point where he's probably the guy conquering at the seven churches of Asia, like, you know, the guy on the throne of Jesus and Yahweh. But okay, let's watch this video where she describes a form of communication that I've been trying to say is going on. It's literally the thing that I'm saying where they're using art to communicate at me like this in a plausibly deniable way uh, in order to harass me or make me feel bad. I think to just get me to kill myself or something. That's the idea even of this Stephanie Houston is Matt video, is that some people are trying to get someone who's actually from there, people like from a place, they're like trying to make him feel uncomfortable in his own home and like, I don't know, get him to leave or something. Uh, Really fucking evil. Like the fact that this is still going on and that people are pretending that they don't, like, it's clearly aimed at me. Like, what the fuck is she in a thing called Matt? It makes even more sense when like you can see how many times like I was tweeting at these people like all this catastrophe that has been going on, and you know it seems to pick up in periods where I'm, you know, like at this period it picked up significantly as I'm trying to like show like, hey, you're causing all this like all these problems for all these people, like y'all, these group of people, you know what I mean, like these celebrities who are being used to manipulate the public and like, I don't know, fucking hurt everybody on the planet because they're just head up their own ass fucking celebrities who don't give a fuck about anything other than themselves. That's what. So let's listen to this girl talk about like a sneaky form of communication that when it's about her, you know, getting some pussy, she completely understands it. I think she's a lesbian. That's what I'm saying. That and that's what is implied. But whatever. I mean, I'm not here judging that. I'm judging all the people pretending that they don't understand this form of communication that this girl is laying out very clearly. So
They're cheating on you through the close friends tab on Instagram. No, I'm not mumbling, and I did in fact say that. I feel like with social media, it's pretty easy to cheat nowadays, but this is like almost foolproof and almost impossible to catch.
I'm even going to turn this up a bit.
So a couple months ago, I was liking a celebrity's Instagram, and I only mentioned that to say that I was just liking their photo just
like, and I would even suggest this when I'm suggesting with these that celebrities, Alessandra Ambrosio and Beyonce. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm the father of Alessandra Ambrosio's children. That they've done something really fucking evil and wicked towards me, and they're being used to like psychologically abuse me. Uh, a good example that they are participating is this whole Andrea Ambrosio Wilkins is she my dog, and previously I'd posted like are they a trap or my dogs, and then all of a sudden she has this filter on her face, the dog filter, and that's just one example of numerous examples where it seems like celebrities, Beyonce from here in Houston, who's never here in Houston, is rarely is like they're being used to harass and abuse me. So, or they just are, but I think they're being used to do that, like used by someone to do that, or are part of some group called the Nicolations that are like, again, some group of victory over the people where a bunch of celebrities, I guess, think they can overcome the people and like be a higher class of people than your average person, but it involves doing really evil, illegal, abusive stuff like what P Diddy has done and what I think Beyonce and Jay Z are going to get in trouble for doing. Like, this is what they've done, is what I'm trying to say. And so when this explodes in their face, fucking like, really problematically, yeah, this is it. So, um, let's just notice she's talking about a celebrity doing this also. So
everyone likes their photo. When all of a sudden, but this is like almost foolproof and almost impossible to catch. So a couple months ago, I was liking a celebrity's Instagram, and I only mentioned that to say that I was just liking their photo just like everyone likes their photo. When all of a sudden, I see the next day they liked one of mine. But then I go back and I like more of their photos, and they come back to me and start liking my photos. And it's like a game of tag, right? When it moves on to stories. Meanwhile, this entire time, they do not follow me, and I don't even follow them.
do you get what I'm saying? Like, she's illustrating. She even said it's impossible to catch. It's not impossible. It's just difficult because of the plausible deniability. But once I've shown a pattern over years that it is very clearly happening, and there are certain people that are specifically, clearly and specifically participating, and that they've done something super fucking evil to me and then lied to the police about what was going on, yeah, then that's a real big fucking problem.
But they are watching all of my Instagram stories, right? And liking them as well. So I could see it in my verified tab. And
Also, I'm like, I can almost positively prove my digital accounts. Like, I could go to my verified tab, but it doesn't show everybody because I've had a number of instances where people that, like, first of all, don't follow me, all of a sudden, like, a bunch of random people liked, and it's not random. They're musicians and stuff, but that have hundreds of thousands of followers or whatever. Their likes got through, and I don't think they were supposed to. So, but anyway,
and again, it was like a game of tag. I'm liking their stories, they're liking mine. When all of a sudden, I see that they put me on their close friends. I was freaking out because I was like, oh my god, like they know who I am. Like,
I'm even gonna restart this, and I'm not gonna talk through this, and then I'll talk at the end. So let me even just restart because I really want this to be like that you understand what she is saying.
they're cheating on you through the close friends tab on Instagram. No, I'm not mumbling, and I did in fact say that. I feel like with social media, it's pretty easy to cheat nowadays, but this is like almost foolproof and almost impossible to catch. So, a couple months ago, I was liking a celebrity's Instagram, and I only mentioned that to say that I was just liking their photo just like everyone likes their photo. When all of a sudden, I see the next day they liked one of mine. But then I go back and I like more of their photos, and they come back to me and start liking my photos. And it's like a game of tag, right? When it moves on to stories. Meanwhile, this entire time, they do not follow me, and I don't even follow them. But they are watching all of my Instagram stories, right? And liking them as well. So I could see it in my verified tab. And again, it was like a game of tag. I'm liking their stories, they're liking mine. When all of a sudden, I see that they put me on their close friends. I was freaking out because I was like, oh my god, like they know who I am. Like close friends is intimate. And I was like, they don't even follow me. I don't even follow them. And I'm about to see the inside scoop of their life. Wrong. Yeah, it was just a picture. There was nothing there. But I was like, bet. I'll bite. I am just a girl. Okay, so what did I do? I put them on my close friends. Except on my close friends, it's like about 100 of people I've met. So I had to put on something that was like general, that like, you know, isn't too suspicious or like isn't too obvious that it's like a thirst trap, right? And I want them to see it. And I'm gonna see that they saw it. So I add them to my close friends. I put up a photo where I'm like, it's so hot. And then I put up like the temperature of where I was.
In other words, like the writing on the wall is behind her head, right?
This person puts on their close friends the temperature, the same one, and says, that's not bad.
Clearly a way to communicate back and forth in a plausibly deniable fashion. They like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's just random coincidence. I mean, in reality, clearly not, right? In you know, but like you can play it off like that, which is what people have been trying to do around my situation. Like they're trying to lie about participating in some like an abusive thing that has happened to me. Like, I mean, something that's really fucking evil. So
they were responding directly to me through their close friends and using the close friends as a way to talk to me. That's like level IQ 200 to me. So I'm like, oh my god. Because in my head, I'm like, there's no way that anyone else is on their close friends. So I'm like, bet, I'll do the same to mine. And I took off everyone off of my close friends and only had them. Then we're going back and forth through the close friends to communicate. There is nothing in our DMs, mind you. We still do not follow each other.
In other words, they're communicating back and forth, but it the like paper trail of it is like it essentially is non-existent. However, if after she breaks this down like this, if you went and you like hypothetically were Meta and you could see like the company that owns Instagram, both people's stories, it would be pretty obvious. This is why when I'm saying people are watching my stories and I'm trying to, not just my stories, people are watching the private photo gallery in my phone. So when I put a picture and then very clearly or conceptually there's something like a series of pictures, and then someone very clearly is like communicating back at me with their stuff, it should be really obvious that this is going on.
And the posts that they liked, they took away their like. It's like they were never there. So like we are having full conversations through close friends. And the reason that this is so genius and why I even found out that they were sneaky, mind you as well, all over their Instagram, not a single significant other. But you ever just know when you find her? I found her. They had a girlfriend. Yeah, that's why they were doing that the whole time. But I did send a wild text being like, hey girlie, your man is cheating through the close.
Oh, maybe she's not a lesbian. Maybe it was to get some D there. But, you know, you get what I'm saying? Like, when it's to get laid, it's really obvious. But, you know what I mean? But when it's like, hey, someone's being violated in a really fucked up way, like essentially, what I've suggested, breeding me without my permission with someone I didn't even have sex with is a form of rape. I don't care if I like that person or not. It is a form of rape, and you guys are rapists. But let's keep watching.
Close friends. And the girlfriend was actually really nice about it and not blaming me, because, like, how was I meant to know? Their significant other should not be doing that and telling me that they're in a relationship. And there's no way that she could ever even know that. Even if she was on the close friends, when you're kicked off, you don't get like a notification of any sort. So even if she was on it, she didn't see the private conversation that was happening on the close friends between them and I. And then when our conversation ended, he could just put her right back on the close friends. So, like, if you feel that someone is cheating on you, check the close friends. It's just so smart. Maybe y'all already knew this, but I didn't. Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Like, even that, you could watch it and have some really like stubbornly evil people, like stubborn bullshitters, would be like, no, that's not possible or whatever, and it's just like at that point you're fucking clearly lying, and there's no reason to trust you on anything, right? Does that make sense? But like conceptually, this is what I'm talking about. Where it's a form of communication that's very difficult to prove. You would need, like I'm saying, you would need to be able to see both sides of it, right? And like you could only do that if you were like a meta admin or something. And you know, it when I'm talking about these things with these celebrities, and she's again even talking about specifically some celebrity is doing this, it's like it just seems very obvious to me like what these women are doing, this coven of women or whatever this is about to implode, and all of these people are fucked and their lives are screwed. I don't care if they're celebrities. I don't care if you're Beyonce. First of all, you're hardly in Houston. You only give token shit to Houston. Like, you don't give a fuck about Houston. You don't give a fuck about really anything other than yourself because you're a self-absorbed celebrity. I mean, that's just the obvious part of this. But, everybody cares about themselves to some degree, so okay. That being said, the fact that people have done such crazy evil bullshit to me, like, again, remember, this is the playlist that more recently has been like, am I the father of Alessandra Ambrosio's kids? And then go look at the pictures. It clearly looks like it. The guy who's purported to be their father does not look like them, so, you know, it looks like they're holding my children hostage and pretending that even the way that they're communicating at me or with me is like doesn't exist. So all of this is to like gaslight me and make me feel like I'm crazy and hurt my mental health. That's all. This is like not just a psyop. This is like a psy war. You know what I mean? Like a psychological warfare, except like I'm like I guess their final target or something, because I really do think I'm the guy that's figured out at the end of the Bible there's a series of if then conditional statements. If you do the things, you get to be the person from the end of the Bible, the like good guy, or you get to be on the throne with Jesus in a way that I don't think anybody else is going to be. And like I think I represent probably him for having gone through some god awful bullshit and kept believing in Yahweh and Jesus all the way through the end, to the point where you can literally see me like doing miraculous shit on camera on my YouTube channel, which seems to be shadow banned to some degree. But I also feel like I could be on some kind of Truman Show. I don't know. I can't, if I am, it's imploding with whatever this is. So, find me someone else who consistently can do that, which you can clearly go to my other playlist, the Lightning Lab ones or the hundreds of Storm video ones, but the Lightning Lab ones in particular, and see me do that numerous times. So, okay, I mean, I don't really have anything else to add. This is kind of longer than I wanted this video to be honest, but I do think I've like covered what I'm talking about well enough to like point out like, hey, people are using this type of like subtle communication to like communicate me in a way about a situation that's really fucked up, evil, illegal, like abusive. I need it to end, and like I'm just gonna keep documenting this whole situation as I end it. But other than that, that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Have a blessed one. I'll catch you next time. It's only 30 minutes this time, so anyway, later. Ah, yeah.